very much. I have joined you right at the end of the discussion, but even now, I am highly satisfied intellectually with the results of the discussion. I'd like to note that the Japanese experience on the creation of strategic economic zones goes to prove that it can be a successful enterprise. And it has started together with the same project in Russia. This is fate, nothing but fate. It all started in 2013. Unfortunately, these economic zones, both in Japan and Russia, have not yet become successful. We're still lagging behind Korea due to the fact that they were globally, they globally couldn't compete with the other countries on a global level. We have talented personnel working in these clusters, but on a global competitive level, we are still lagging behind. And we are looking at Mr. Abe's enterprises on strategic development of economic zones, which is a priority for the development of the Japanese economy. It doesn't give quick success, but this is something that has to be done. Our understanding is mutual, and as fate turns out that we have started doing this together at the same time, we could possibly examine our results at each of the coming forums. I think drawing experience from the examples that we bring forward on such fora is very important. And of course, we shouldn't be afraid to understand what our deficiencies may be and how to overcome them. Even maybe draw a roadmap in order to attract investments and improve the situation in that respect. And the last thing I wanted to point out is the creation of an ecosystem. Everything you named is done. Mr. Trutnev has already pointed out the one-stop window, one-shop window, and alleviation of the customs regime and tax benefits and all other mechanisms which we employ. Moreover, I can add that one of the integral parts of this ecosystem, which is created by the government of the Russian Federation, is institutionalizing, that is, creating institutions of development. We were saying that we cannot create a territory for economic development, and it cannot be isolated. That is why the government of the Russian Federation is creating agencies on attracting investments. In using the terminology, it is promoting, marketing our TADs to investors worldwide, and it's doing this on a very highly professional level, full-time, 24/7, and it's very important. The service structure on promotion has its own tasks, has its own targets, which employs best practices on a global level, where we are drawing experience from the successful SEZs. The Agency for the Development of Human Resources in the Far East has been created. It's a non-for-profit organization which has been created by the government of the Russian Federation. Approximately 6 6.5 million people constitute the population of the Far East right now, but we need to take the fact that highly professional human resources need to become a priority for the successful development of the region. This morning, an amendment, I said that an amendment was introduced into the law on TADs, allowing to resort to litigation. The state corporation of the Russian Federation right now has the right to litigate. And every inspection of TAD has to be instigated by the government of the Russian Federation, and above all, the financing or funding aspect, the subsidies from the government. This is considered to be an ecosystem. This ecosystem has to be created, and only on the foundation of such ecosystems can SEZs perform. The TAD and SEZ is a very deep instrument for economic success and development.
We need to understand how to treat them. And it's not so simple. It doesn't just happen like that, announcing that we are going to do those zones overnight. We have to carry out some meticulous everyday work. And one important thing is people. People are the crucial factor. And the issue here is that special economic zones or accelerated development areas are in some border state. On the one hand, it's the government that needs to deal with them. And on the other hand, we need to work practical models borrowed from the private sector. Unfortunately, government officials find it difficult to be client-oriented. They prefer themselves to investors. But people who deal with that need to love investors more than themselves. So in my view, that's a very special key to success, and we really need to select people who prefer investors to themselves. Thank you.